What's going on, guys? This is crazy. I get a kick out of these people that claim that they know what they're talking about. I put out a video talking about the whole situation in Springfield, Ohio, with the cats and the goose and the ducks and whatever coming up missing. And there's been several stories where people have posted that they've lived there, their whole life, or even just a few years, and there used to be cats and stuff all over the place, and now all that has changed. You don't see stray cats anywhere anymore. You don't see animals all over the place like you used to. That they used to have a cat infestation problem, just cats everywhere, and now that is not around anymore. So there have been people that have come forward with first-hand information, and there's also another app called Twitch X or Twitter X or something. It's not regular X that you think. It's uncensored, raw video that shows burning bodies. It shows people killing other people. And there's a dude here at the dealership that he pulled it up, and he was like, yeah, look at this Haitian right here, burning this cat on top of the stove, burning all the hair off. The cat's obviously dead, but taking the flame from the stove and burning the hairs off the body of the cat so they can clean it and prep it for food. You know, what sucks is these people honestly believe that somebody just came up with this. And the comment that I get was, oh, JD Vance admitted that he... And then I see all over TikTok and YouTube where they're like, oh, JD Vance admitted that he made up this whole entire... That's not what he said. What he said in the interview with the reporter was, if it takes me having to make things up to get you guys to start focusing on what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, which I've been trying to raise hell about, and nobody's been listening, then I'll just have to do that. But he never once said, I made up the dog and cat story. The reporter then goes on to ask him several times, so you made up the whole story? And he said, no. There are first-hand encounters, first-hand witnesses where people have come to me and reported to me that this has been going on. I didn't make this up. These people in this community are seeing this. And she says, so this whole thing, you didn't make up the story. And he goes back again to say these were first-hand, first-person encounters that has seen and dealt with this type of stuff that have brought this information forward. That he didn't make it up. He said if he had to make things up for the media to start focusing more on what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, he would. But he didn't say that's what he did. Some of you guys don't know how to comprehend just basic communication because you get so emotional, you hear a few trigger words or key words that fit your narrative, and then all of a sudden you've got it figured out. That's not what the guy said. And it's well known that these people are into this type of stuff. It's not something that we're just making up. This is literally the type of stuff they do in the country that they're from. And they come here to the United States and they try to do this type of stuff here in the United States. There's literally whole communities where, let's just say it's a pretty good melting pot of black, white, Asian, whatever you want to call it, that are in a community where you have a little bit of everything. Once you get a family of like Middle Eastern people moving in, or Haitians moving in, or like sometimes depending on what Hispanic culture you're from, you try to get all your family close. Well, then that family expands, and then they got to get another place, but they want to be close. And then next thing you know, your little community that was a little melting pot is no longer the same as it was growing up. It looks like when I grew up off of Western and Devon in Chicago, it was a pretty decent crowd of Indian and white and black, Hispanic, a little bit of Hispanic, not too much. Well, now you go back to Western and Devon all these years later, and it's all Indian people living there. Almost in that whole entire area, they call it like Indian Row now, or something like that, all up and down Devon. And it sucks because they start to move into your neighborhoods, then they start pushing people out, they start doing things in the neighborhood where other people don't want to live there or be around them. They know what they're doing. And then they start to control and take over the neighborhood, and you no longer feel safe in the neighborhood, or you no longer feel welcome in the neighborhood where you grew up. This type of stuff happens all over the place. And that's exactly what these people are going to do in Ohio. They move 20,000 people in there like that, and then all of a sudden they start taking up the apartments. They start buying more, the assistants and stuff. There were local residents there that were like, we can't even find housing and stuff anymore because so many of them, they're displacing Americans by moving Americans out of the homes and the apartments that they're renting and turning around and renting it out to these Haitians, because now these people can't afford the rent because everything's getting jacked up, and these Haitians and stuff are coming in on asylum or temporary protection with government assistance, and that's paying their way. Well, Americans get screwed in the process. And then listen to the factory workers, the bosses in the factories and stuff there. One guy was like, yeah, I have like 18 or 20 Haitians working for me, and they work hard. Way, way different than any American does here. The Americans, they come late, they complain, they want more, they want more, they want more. These Haitians come in, and they just bust their butt, and they work hard. So I wish I had more Haitians. These companies are going to end up pushing more and more American people out of these companies and replacing them with illegals, migrants from other places, because those people come from absolutely zero, and they have nothing to lose by working for something dirt cheap and busting their ass. We're Americans, we know what our value and stuff is here. They haven't quite figured that out yet. They haven't quite figured out how some companies exploit the labor of their employees, and how they should expect more because they're putting out a certain quality of labor. They don't know the difference. Anyway, JD Vance never said that he made up the Springfield, Ohio story. That's just a bunch of stuff that Democrats like to regurgitate because they said a few key words that they're like, oh, did you hear what he just said he made it up? No, he said, if I have to make things up to get you guys to focus on Springfield, Ohio, or on Ohio, then I will. But he continued to move forward every time he was asked, so you made it up? No, these are firsthand experiences, encounters from people that have come and that have witnessed this, that I've talked to, that I've spoken with. That's it. Y'all have a great day. Be blessed.